Starting off with karate, I'm gonna put this at S tier because the damage is really good, the skill damage passive is also really good, and the skill set is overall very well rounded. It has 2 extenders, a guard break that does high damage, and good hyper armor. Everyone knows this is a good style, and a lot of people use this. The ultimate is really fast and does a lot of damage thanks to the style passive. Next up we have wrestling, which I put at B+. The damage is pretty decent. I mean, it has a guard break that's long range and a lot of hyper armor grabs. Only reason I didn't put this any higher is because Beast exists, which is basically just the upgrade. And I would say wrestling is still viable though. The stun passive lets you pull off some crazy stuff too. The ultimate is pretty good, but we all know it bugs a lot. Next up we have a Brawl at S tier. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, even after the nerf, it's still a really strong style. Not to mention the M2, which has a wide AoE, and it's really good if you know how to read people. Now the ult is one of the main parts of a Brawl, the perfect block passive. I mean, you can basically spam it, and it does a lot of damage. Now we have Muay Thai A+. Muay Thai does some of the most damage across all of the tier 3s. The skill set is very well rounded, and Hammer of Burma does some of the most damage in the game for skills. The passive is 10% more dash distance, and this is really good, especially after the new speed blitz nerf. Muay Thai's ultimate is one of the strongest in the game, I'd say, especially with the new talents. I'll show you what I mean at the end of the video. Another B tier is Capoeira. Now, this style does feel really good to play on, however, the damage is pretty low. Also, for me personally, the passive doesn't really feel like it does too much. I do get its drop off damage, but it's kind of useless. However, I will say the skill set is really good. It's well rounded and it's good for playing passive aggressive. So if you know what you're doing, this style is going to be really viable. The ultimate is a bit on the lower side of the scale for damage, but I'd say it's really cool. Next up, one of my favorite tier 3s, boxing. Now, this style is super strong. You get really good damage along with fast strike speed. I have zero issues with the skill set, and I'd say it's very beginner friendly as well. The combo potential is really high on this style. Skills do a lot of damage. I mean, there's nothing more I could want. You can play this style however you want, passive, aggressive, a little mix of both. Either is fine. Now, for the ultimate, very flashy, does some pretty good damage. Not bad. Moving back to the B tier, we have Kung Fu, which I personally placed at B+. I remember it used to be really meta when it first came out. I mean, the damage was really high and people used to run full speed builds and absolutely shred you. Now, I don't see it as much. It is still viable, but I don't play this style myself. There's just better options. The ultimate is fast and does really good damage. I remember when this first came out, I really liked the effects on it. It's still really cool to me. Koei, a really strong S tier. I'm personally using this style right now, and it feels really good. The scalings are really high, so your M1s and skills do a lot of damage. M2 is also pretty fast. I would say some people sleep on it. I use my M2 a lot, especially to guard break people. We all know Blink is dog shit. I mean, you're kind of a bot if you got this skill. It doesn't do anything. They said they were going to fix it, but it's still kind of bugged. This style is really good for passive aggressive players because you get good hyper armors and guard breaks. The ult does a ton of damage, but it's hard to land. Now we have what's basically an upgrade of wrestling, as I said before. It's basically just better skills, better scaling. I actually mained Beast for a while when I was muscle, and let me just tell you, it's really fun. Also, this combo is kind of egregious. Look at this. I missed the jump here, but it's a lot of damage if you land it correctly. However, I would say the downsides is Beast Claw, which has a lot of wind up and is pretty weak, honestly. I just get like corkscrew, and the ult does about little to no damage. Next we have another heavy, which is Sumo. It is the only fat style in this game, surprisingly, and I put it at A+. In contrast to what some people say, I would say the style does do good damage and you get a lot of HP on top of that. If you have good talents, I definitely recommend you to try out the style, and This is more lean towards passive players, I'd say. The ult's pretty cool. I mean, it's wide AoE, does decent damage. Only problem is sometimes you might miss if you have bad tracking. The style that you can play both lean and muscle on, we have Judo. I put this at B tier because, I mean, you don't see it much, the damage isn't crazy. I would say the combos are pretty easy. One thing I really do like about it though is the counter. I mean, the style is fun. I haven't played it really since it first came out. It's good for passive players, that's for sure. If you're good at timing people and predicting, then I'd say this style's for you. A lot of people complain about the ult, but I actually think it's pretty cool. Damage is meh, decent. Now lastly we have Taek. I put this at A tier. This was a lot of people's first options because it looks good and the damage is pretty decent. It definitely earns its spot in A tier. I mean, you have a lot of range, the skills are well rounded, and that gives you a lot of options when you're PvPing. The ult's pretty easy to land. Again, it's just kind of like a grab. You kick your opponent into the sky and then you slam them down. The damage isn't the craziest, but it is pretty flashy and cool to watch. This is what I meant earlier in the video when I said with the new talents, Muay Thai is kind of crazy. Just watch. Here's the complete tier list if you guys want to see it. I forgot Senko because you can't get this style in private servers, but it's definitely S tier. Crazy speed, crazy damage. I mean, there's no complaints about it. And I would say tier 1s go in D tier, all the tier 2s go into C tier. I do think that's about it for the video. However, I do really want to quickly say that this tier list is subjective, and this is what I personally think should go into what.